Hi everyone and welcome back to the channel. I must be out of my mind this time. It's just after 2 o'clock in the morning and I'm about to hit the road to drive all the way to the Lake District and back in one day. Now this is a round trip of about 700 miles and I don't really have much of a plan except just drive there and see what it's all about. So I'm going to hit the road and yeah, see what we can see. So here we are then, after a hypnotic and rather surreal journey here with only cat's eyes and Arctic trucks for company. The black of night gradually gave way to dawn and I felt renewed actually, and the XK8 carried me here and I feel relaxed and free of fatigue, which is brilliant. I mean, that's kind of what this car is about. It's a GT, it's a Grand Tourer, and we've covered over 300 miles this morning already. And we're at the Lake District. As you can see, there's a lake behind me. So is that it? Are we done? Probably not. I'll try and explore a bit more around this area. As you can see, it's absolutely beautiful and lucky with the weather. I thought it was going to be rainy today, so absolutely brilliant so far. Going to get in the car, explore some more, and hopefully we'll have a great day. Scenery is just incredible. Wow. This is amazing. So where we were was called Haweswater, and I don't know why we went there in particular. It was just one of the lakes that seemed to be closest to the motorway from the map I was looking at. But the other place I kind of saw on the map was a town, I think it's called Mardale or something, and it looks like it's got a very cool sort of mountain pass type road with sort of hairpin bends down to it right near there. So I'm going to try and find that now. Unfortunately, because we're in the middle of nowhere, there's no signal or internet or anything, so I can't look it up at the moment. So I'm just heading in that general direction just from memory. I do actually have a few touristy type books in my bag in the back of the car. I also have a retro ordnance survey map, which is useless unless you're orienteering 30 years ago or something, but it's quite nice to look at. But anyway, I might dig those out in a minute just to check my sense of direction if I don't seem to be getting any closer to where I want to go. So, bit of an adventure. Going to have a little explore around the Lake District to see if we can find this cool driving road. Now, what seems to be sort of the type of road that we're on at the moment are these narrow country lanes. You saw me there just kind of getting out of the way of a van, and it's hard to sort of put your foot down on these, and I don't really want to crash into a lorry which is coming towards me now, great, or a sheep or anything like that. So I'm going to take it easy unless we get onto some faster sections of road. So yeah, hopefully soon we'll be on some more interesting roads. Okay, so I had to look it up on the map, and it's called Martindale, this place, and I'm on my way there now. And as I was driving down these roads, I was trying to think what it reminded me of, and it kind of feels like I'm in an episode of Postman Pat, going down all these different roads and things. It's all over stone bridges and all these stone walls and things around me. Very much similar to that programme, if you remember that. So the lake that Martindale's next to is called Oleswater. We've just kind of passed the head of it there, and we just need to drive round. We've gone a bit of a long way because of some road works, meaning another road in, the more direct route, was closed from where I was. But hopefully we'll be able to explore this area a bit. Now, one of the things that I did notice, and this is purely from playing too many computer games and things like that, is that some of the place names are very similar or the same as those found in Forza Horizon 4, which is a computer game you can get. And it's because that game is set in Britain, and I think it's taken some of the locations in the Lake District as playable parts of the map. So it's not a true to life representation of Britain or anything, but it's got Edinburgh and other places in sort of southern Scotland and this part of England, so a bit of the Lake District in there. So what I'm going to try and do a bit later on, I think, is maybe see if I can find some of these locations and then find them in the game as well when I get home. That'll be quite fun. And the interesting thing about that Forza Horizon 4 is that the MGB GT is a playable car in it. This car isn't, sadly. So what I might even do is get the MG serviced and whatever else I need to do with it, and maybe do a bit of a longer trip in that to here, and maybe see if I can do a back-to-back sort of comparison of the game versus real life. I think Forza in real life would be a pretty fun thing to try. So that's an idea for a future video there. Let me know if you'd want to see that. I just can't get over how beautiful it is around here. Why did I not know about the Lake District being as nice as this? It's incredible. Well, that was just incredible coming up there. Very narrow, so I'm glad nothing came the other way, but wow, what a road. This landscape is just crazy. And then the weirdest thing is that there's loads of people around, so you think you're in the middle of nowhere and sort of going on some sort of adventure, and then there's, you know, dozens of cars around, and people in camper vans have just parked up and parked their camper van on the edge of a cliff for a night. It's weird, but yeah, I guess they're all in doing the same thing as me, all having fun exploring this place, and I can see why. It's just really good. But I don't know where I'm going now. Ugh. Down the other side. Jeez. I think it's probably time to get the map out again. Find out where I should be going. This is just crackers. This is two-way, isn't it? What? Don't know what's going to happen if something comes the other way. I'm going to pull over. What fun. It's a dead end, so we have to go back down that hill. Oh dear. Oh well, at least we get to go down it as well as up it. Okay, so here we go, the way down this time. Slow and steady wins the race. Really don't want to go off the edge of here. Jesus. Well, it's a decent view, that's for sure. Whoa. Don't be silly. Whoa. Let's get off the edge. Whoa. Oh, so that was fun in the end. Just glad nothing came up. There we go. Is it lunchtime yet? Right then, I just stopped off for lunch at Pooley Bridge, which was alright, a pub lunch, but you know, given current restrictions I was sat outside. Getting a bit cold actually, and I'm a bit concerned about the weather. It was supposed to rain all day today, so we've been lucky so far, but I wonder if eventually we're going to start getting a bit of rain in this part of the UK soon. I'm heading now to Derwent or Derwent, I don't know how you say it, water, which is another lake, and that's the lake that features in that game I was talking about, Forza Horizon 4. So I'm going to drive there now, see what's over there, and then depending on the weather, might either carry on exploring if the weather's okay, or might start heading back home because it's a long drive, and see if there's anything to see on the way back. So kind of a suck it and see type situation going on, but yeah, we'll see what happens. So whilst we're on our way to Derwent Water, I'm just going to call it Derwent. Let's talk a bit about the car and how it's doing. So in terms of mileage, we've done about 370 miles, I think. Yeah, just over. And we've averaged about 30 miles to the gallon as well, which is, you know, mostly motorway driving, but we've done a bit of country lane exploration as well, which will be less efficient than motorway driving. And this is kind of consistent with other trips that I've done. So I've done other trips to Wales and to the North York Moors, and I got similar sort of MPG for those as well. It does tend to drop a bit when you're doing more of this exploratory type stuff, because you stop and start, and I normally leave the engine running when I'm in car parks and things because I want to stay warm. So we're doing all right, and I think by the end of the trip we probably will be around that 700 mile mark, which is quite a long way for, you know, a day's excursion, and why I set off so early. And the reason I probably want to head back probably mid-afternoon is that as soon as the sun goes down, that's when you start to feel really, really tired, and I don't want to get too sleepy on the way home, because obviously it's dangerous. Anyway, I'm going to stop talking now, and I'm just going to carry on going. There's a beautiful lake to my right hand side. I'm not sure if you're seeing that out of the window, but again, incredible scenery for this part of Britain, and I urge you, if you're into that kind of thing, to visit, because it's amazing. Right, see you in a bit. Okay, so Derwent Water, you can't really get as close to it as you could with the other lakes. So I've kind of been up high, as you can see. I can see the lake kind of to the right and in front of me, and I'm kind of above it now. Is it similar to the lake in the game? Well, it is really similar, because that island's in it, and in the winter time it freezes over and you can drive across it. But what is different with the game and real life is that in the game you can just drive off the road and crash through brick walls and all the rest of it, whereas in real life you've got these really narrow country lanes to contend with, which can be quite nerve-wracking, you know, if you're not really too familiar with how wide your car is. Luckily I've had this car a while, whatever, but it can be a bit of a challenge, and just taking it easy, because you just don't know who's going to be flying down these roads coming the other way. So blind corners, you don't want to smash into something. So in terms of driving Nirvana, I wouldn't say the Lake District is really it, just simply because it's so narrow and it's not the sort of place for charging around. But in terms of a place to explore and see amazing scenery, then absolutely this is probably one of the better places I've been. I mean, it's comparable to when I went to Snowdonia. Similar sort of roads there, and similar sort of scenery, but I'd say the difference is when I went to Snowdonia, it was Storm Dennis, so it wasn't quite as enjoyable. And as you've seen from the video so far, I've got quite a bit of drone footage, which I love getting my drone out and flying it, and the footage just always makes me so pleased when I watch it back, because it's always that well, it's just really nice footage, isn't it? It's just a different perspective to every day, and it's all smoothed out because of the gimbal in the drone or whatever. And it's, yeah, I really like flying it and using that footage in my videos. But you know, it's not often you get to use it, because you have to get so many things right, like the weather, like I keep on going on about, and you can only fly in places where there aren't many people, buildings, cars around, and there's lots of rules and things, mainly common sense sort of stuff, you know, not near an airport and whatever else. But yeah, super happy today. It's been a great day actually. As to what I'm going to do next, I don't really know. So I'm going to have a look at one of those tourist books I brought with me in a minute, and to see where else there is to explore in the Lake District, because I don't want to do any mega touristy stuff, because that's just crowds of people and not really why I bring a car somewhere. It's not to visit an attraction, it's to actually just explore. So we'll see if there's anything else different to see, and if not, we'll probably make a move and go home, because I've started at 2 and that was nearly 12 hours ago. Okay, having consulted with my tourist literature, I am not going to go home yet, and the weather is getting better again. So we are going to Buttermere, just as a starting point really, even though I've heard it from the book that it's a nice place to go. But then we are going to seek out the Honister Pass, which is supposed to be a beautiful driving road. So we will do that, and then we'll go home. So let's see if we can find Honister Pass via Buttermere. Okay, so this road is more what I had in mind, and this is excellent. I mean, it's narrow again, so you have to keep stopping, but at least you can see ahead and you can start to get a bit more use out of the car. And I mean, the Jag is actually probably not the right size car for this kind of thing. You'd be better off in a slightly smaller car, but at the same time the road surface isn't amazing, so it does a great job of smoothing out all of the bumps and stuff, which makes the whole thing a lot more smoother and comfortable. I think in a proper sports car you'd be bouncing around all over the place, but like I mentioned earlier, I mean, if I come back in the MG, that'll be a good comparison to see if it's better or worse than this. I think being narrower, it'll be easier to thread between other cars coming the other way, but at the same time I do think it would throw you about a bit, and I think it might even struggle on inclines like this, you know. I mean, this is pretty steep. I wonder how steep it is. Blimey, I feel like I'm pointing at the sky. Oh, come on, Jag. Oh, wow. Wow, would you look at that view? Don't look at the view, look at the road. Oh my word. Oh my god. This is insane. %, 1 in 4. Okay, so we've got a little bit of a camera situation going on, and that's why the microphone sounds weird. It's because I don't have my external mic. External mic plugged in, and it's because I'm trying to charge 2 cameras, and the port where the charger goes in on my forward-facing camera also has the audio connection, which normally would work, but because of the way the mount is, I can't fit both in. So I'm gonna have to just go sans mic for this bit, because we're just at Buttermere. I'm not stopping at Buttermere, it's just the starting point of the Honister Pass over to Keswick again, which we just came from near Derwent Water, and this is the start of it here, I believe. And I'm going to stop talking and just let the cameras roll, because if it's as good as the book's making out it is, then I shouldn't need to talk. So let's go. climb coming up. I think I'm out of disk space on my other camera now, as well as having those battery problems, so I think we're going to wrap up this part of the video here, and then it's the trip home. So if we hadn't done that, I was going to go home via Caffeine and Machine, which is a place, sort of petrol heads coffee shop I suppose, which is in Stratford upon Avon, and kind of on the way home just off the M40. But I think it's kind of too late to do that now, really, and it's worth taking a proper visit there, I think, rather than just trying to squeeze it in on the way home. So that'll be another video another time, maybe over the summer or something. That'll be good. And yeah, I guess it's just the trip home now. I hope you enjoyed this video, because I was a bit worried that it was going to be a bit of a washout today, but it's turned out to be very enjoyable. And although the roads are narrow, like I've said, and not, you know, putting your foot down type roads, the passes and stuff that we've been on over the peaks and the footage I've got of being near the lakes and stuff more than makes up for it. So hoping to do more of these trips over the summer, maybe not in the Jag, maybe in the MG, like I said. And if you like this video, then let me know. Then put some comments in the comment section if you think there's anything I could have done better, or suggestions on where to go next. And until the next time, take care of yourselves. See you later. Bye bye. Whoa.